my Oculus Metaverse world. Let's already get into it. Let's do it.
What's up, guys? And we are in VR chat. Now, one thing that I went in part one was going over different items people could potentially have and different ways those items can be tokenized and have mechanisms to engage with them. Being able to interface with a smart contract to where it would spit out some metadata for you to compile that world or item and such. Well, imagine doing the same thing for skins, right? Look, someone out there created this skin to where I can, move my fingers around, open my mouth, look at this. Like, this is absolutely awesome. And imagine if the data for this skin, or at least a good segment of this data, was in a smart contract, and for me to compile this skin in a world I'm in, if it's somebody else's skin, I may need to pay that smart contract a penny or so, or even less than that, to be able to access that data, compile it, be able to occupy it, and then the person that created that will be able to get profits off of people using that. And we got a bunch of different skins here, so let's take a look at this one. Oops. Ooh, look at this. Look at this. These are absolutely cool. I mean, honestly, VR chat's the real metaverse, but look at all of these crazy skins. Look at this. I can do a little dance. Da, 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 da. Look at all of these crazy skins that have been created. I'm this little monster, bro. And even if it wasn't pay per execution, imagine being able to go, oh yeah, here's like 20 cents for an interesting skin that you're able to use, and now you're able to compile and use these, and maybe you have a token associated with your ability to use them, and now you can collect these different skin tokens to be compiled in these different worlds, whether it's VR chat, whether it's different games. Woo, look at this. You can even do the fingers. But one thing that is also really interesting is in VR chat, people create their own worlds, like absolute crazy own worlds. And it is like that in Horizons worlds too. But to be honest, like that whole like Ready Player One feel in terms of metaverse or whatever, you get people who create very, very elaborate and dynamic worlds. But look at these skins. All of these skins out here can be considered digital assets that can garner revenue for people who create them by being able to create a mechanism where people can tokenize the skin itself in a smart contract and allow for people to compile that skin by paying the contract. Look at this. And a lot of people may be going, oh, well, what about it now? It's really free and it is cool, but these people have to just create these things and people just use them. A lot of people create their own games by ripping off people's skins and ripping off people's different mods. And imagine just being able to have a simple mechanism to where it's just like, hey, look, here's some simple data. And that's the thing, like, it could simply just be compiled data. And there's different ways you can go about this, but simply just taking certain bits of data to be compiled and just paying a smart contract to access that. Simple as that. Whether this is some abstract file of some sort, or whether this is a bunch of different metadata of a bunch of different polygons, like in my part one of this series in Horizon, because it could be something simple as just a bunch of polygons and a bunch of logic statements, like in the Horizons world environment, and compiling all that together can now create your item or skin or whatever, and now you can interact with it. And I think the same sort of thing can apply here with skins. But I'm going to hop into one world real quick. But sort of the main gist of this is, what if we can already take these digital assets that already exist and create an equitable mechanism for people to be able to interact with them? All right, let's go. Let's see, what's a cool world to hop into? I think Battle Disc is cool. Bloop. And here we are. So look at this. So somebody created this little world where they're battling some sort of like Pong 3D disc throwing world, sort of like Tron. Very cool. Games. And I just hopped in here and it was whatever, but imagine if it was like even like a tenth of a cent. Imagine if there was just a basic functionality to be able to not only compile these worlds, but be able to have people who create these be able to monetize these worlds. in my opinion, this is really, and you got Mickey Mouse over there with a freaking glat tearing things up in this world. You sort of get that in in VR chat. But the idea is that people create these games and these worlds that are honestly on the scale, or at the very least, to some level of scale of some of these professionals, and people create games and find joy out of these. And it seems like the amateurs are doing just as good as a job as the professionals. Oh goodness. Now we do get glitches like this, and yeah, the metaverse is not perfect, but I thought it'd be cool to at least come check out these worlds and show that we could potentially have mechanisms of tokenizing these worlds and access to them. Now that seems like I'm getting trolled, I'll definitely see you guys on the next one, and peace.